What's going on, everyone? So Victor Wembanyama is having himself quite the impressive rookie season. As a 20-year-old coming in the league, he had so much hype, so much build-up. The expectations on this kid's shoulders are ridiculous, in my opinion, right? He may end up going down being the greatest player ever, but let's let these kids develop. Let's see what these kids are capable of doing. I understand the excitement. I understand, the perception and the idea of what a player could become. But I mean, they were already ready to crown this kid the best player in the league. I mean, you had some of these, talking heads on sports shows and stuff like that. A lot of these people are out there talking about how they take Victor Wembanyama over, basically everyone in the league except for like three guys. And it's like, can the kid play a game? And don't get me wrong, he's been incredibly impressive. I mean, the guy's shattering records left and right. It's like every game there's like something new he's just done as a rookie. He's already arguably the best defensive player in the league. And again, he is a rookie. He is like a crazy unique specimen, though. 7'4", 209 pounds. He's got like an 8-foot wingspan. So he's a guy that, he's going to be very good defense. I think worst case scenario, I think he'll be the best defensive player in the league and give you 25 a game, which would be fantastic, right? Like if that's worst case scenario, that's crazy. And I'm basing that off of even just his rookie year. He's giving you 21 points, 10 rebounds, 3.5 assists, and again, like the best defensive player in the league. He's first in blocks. He's like 18th in steals. Again, this is a guy that is a center, power forward center, just big man, period. And he's in the top 20 in steals. He leads the league in stocks. Like, what more could you ask for from this kid? And so to think like he can't average 4 more points a game, even if he does hit this like ceiling or this plateau, and all the while he's doing this, and again, he hasn't even gotten his grown man body yet. He hasn't even really gotten the footing and understanding of the NBA game and NBA level. Right, that usually comes a couple years in. You see guys that switch will kind of turn on. He's just out there playing on just pure talent, emotion, just skills, and just that raw nature. And Pop is fully embracing it. I love the way that he's kind of gone about Victor, kind of keeping him and his workload light early on to kind of calm expectations, to kind of mask the exposure for a rookie, right? Because the more, if Victor Wembanyama was playing 35 minutes a game, right, his rookie year, well, one of the big concerns is the more you play as a rookie and the inexperience begins to show. And so if you can kind of keep his minutes low, allow him to kind of get that understanding, kind of get that feel, and then ramp up his minutes to where he's getting, 35 minutes a game, stuff like that. Now, the last few months, he's averaged 33 minutes a game. And it's like, now it's, oh, there it is. That now you can kind of take the chains off and let him just go wild, right? And just be that rabid dog out there. And I think that is something that Pop has done an excellent job with in that regard. And then, you add in the fact that he's put it upon himself to show the capabilities. I love the competitive nature where he talks about Rudy Gobert and he talks about hey, enjoy that defensive player of the year this year because it's mine from now on. I love that competitive nature. Another thing that he talked about was he wanted to ramp up, right? He wanted to show and kind of take it to another level. And he has. He genuinely has. And he's doing this all the while where he has no real playmaker. He has no real guy batting for him and in his corner trying to get him the basketball with some consistency and regularity. I mean, there are literal times where he might as well not even be on the court. They're just acting like he's not even there. It is so far-fetched to me. It's crazy that he is as talented and skillful as he is. And yet your other guys don't actively try to get him the basketball, right? There's video after video after video of literally him with established position, him wide open, and players just completely looking the other way or just, taking an ill-advised shot. They tried that point so and type experiment, and that didn't work. They have Jones out there kind of as your pseudo point guard, but he has his moments where he's okay, but they need a real point guard. Hopefully that's something that they address either through free agency, the draft, trades, whatever. You need to get somebody that understands, like, hey, I need to make sure Victor Wembanyama is getting 20 shots a game or whatever. Because when he does, you see what happened, right? He coming off a game against Brooklyn, 36 minutes, he gives you 33 points, 15 rebounds, 7 assists, 7 blocks, right? And an overtime win. That's what he leads you to. He was 14 of 26 from the field, 1 of 7 from 3. His three-point shot has kind of been hot and cold this season. He's shooting around 33, 34% from three-point range. But that'll come around. You can see that stretch ability. You can see that he's probably bare minimum, I think, will be around league average from three-point percentage. I mean, he's almost there now, right? So if he can get to 36, 37%, then he's around league average. But I wouldn't even be shocked if he's around or gets to 38 to 40%. Like, in all honesty, it wouldn't shock me in the slightest. But again, he's living up to his promise. He's living up to his word. He's talked about, like I said, heavily. And he even talked recently about how, like, hey, I got 17 games left, I think, at the time that he said what he said, and was like, I need to kick it up a notch. And he's already got, and I'm sure he knows, he's already got Rookie of the Year locked up. It's in the bag. Chet has been very impressive as well, but Victor's he's been ridiculous. And I'm excited for that Chet and Wemby battle for years to come. That is going to be so exciting. As just a basketball fan, that is going to be just ridiculous, right? It's like, genuinely, I cannot wait to see how that matchup just over the years and the back and forth, having these two guys that are just very unique talents duking it out. But having Pop as the coach who understands and knows the kind of pressure and just what's at stake with this kid, and him being the franchise cornerstone and the guy that very likely within 3 years, maybe 5 tops, could be the best player in the league and in championship conversations, maybe even had already won a championship. Because the beauty of him going to the Spurs is you're going to an organization that historically wins and values winning. I mean, up until a handful of years ago, the Spurs never had a losing. Like, they were that team that always you could count on. You're going to be in the playoffs and you're going to have a chance to win an NBA championship. And so I definitely think the Spurs are going to do what is necessary, make the proper moves, make the proper adjustments, do whatever it takes to put Victor in the best position. It'll be a process. Don't get me wrong. I don't expect next year all of a sudden the Spurs are the best team in the league, or a top 5 team in the league or anything like that. You never know, right? You get a couple complementary pieces. I don't think Victor, at least right now, needs like another super duper star for him to at least be in the playoffs, right? And potentially in the upper seed hunt, right? Like, if you got him a serviceable roster where you got him, maybe not another star, but just somebody that can take some of the pressure and some of the load off on both sides of the basketball, I wouldn't be shocked if they were like the 6th seed, just because Victor is that talented, and if he has a guy that is actively trying to put him in the best position possible as he, again, learns and understands the game of basketball, because he will get there. And that's what the scary part is. Again, he's a rookie. What does he look like 5 years from now? And so I would imagine you get him just the way that the NBA is today. Like, you look throughout the league. It's a big man and then a guard, usually a point guard, right? And it's like you have your point guard that is kind of like that. The new age guard is kind of like a combo guard. It's not really more traditional. It's more of like they can make plays, but also get downhill and score the basketball. It's more of like what you would interpret a two guard to be. You look at like SGA, Ja Morant, right? Like the molds of some of these guys, even Jamal Murray, right? Like they're they're point guards, but they got good size, they got good speed, good athleticism, and are expected to score X amount of points. Where you look at somebody like a Chris Paul in his heyday, where he's really sharing the basketball. Yeah, he can go drop 20, but he's looking to get others fed. Darren Williams, guys like that, right? We're transitioning into this like specific model of point guard. And so I think if you get one of those, you have Victor. The beauty of Victor is he could play the 5 or the 4. So you could even go with a burly center and then pair him with like a legit 3-and-D small forward, and ideally a 2 guard, and you could be competing for championships relatively soon. So I love that he has that competitive nature. He has that determination. He has that strive to be great, right? He's kind of been taken off the leash, as I mentioned, and gets the opportunity to really flex now. He's playing more minutes. Pop is putting him in better positions, right? I really do think a lot of that was just Pop kind of masking Victor and kind of keeping Victor like, hey, like, but let's ease you into this new world, right? Like, you're incredibly talented. You have all the upside. You're going to be a special player in this league, but let's not give you too much all at once. We're not winning anything this year. We're not going to be some, even if we were to make the playoffs, we're not winning anything. Like, let's just do things the right way. Let's see what pieces are we looking to keep for the future. What guys do we need to move off of? And ultimately, what does Victor have? Where can we fit him? Where can we find him in? And I really do think that the way Pop and the Spurs handled Victor this season was just brilliant. He's truly special. I mean, you just watch him play. You're just in awe. It's like, this is a real player. This guy exists in the league, and he just is starting. We're going to get probably 15 to 20 years of this. And it's just, it's something that is, as a basketball fan, I truly appreciate. And I'm excited to see where the future leads, where it goes, the success that he has, right? Like, because, look, he's already special, but, after a couple years, that conversation of like, okay, that's great, but he needs to start winning championships. It happens to everybody, right? It happens to Jordan, LeBron, Kobe, you name it. It's like Shaq. It's just like, okay, that's great, but is he going to win a championship, right? Jokic, Luka's in that conversation now. It's like, okay, like, he's struggling to even make the playoffs. He's a play-in team. Like, what's going on here? You got Kyrie, right? Like, the conversation, once you get to a certain point, really starts to become like, what are you winning? And so, the Spurs are aware of that, and I do trust them to eventually get him winning. But I really like that he basically said, like, hey, I'm gonna ramp it up. I'm about to take this up a notch. I'm gonna take this to another level, and has so far proceeded to do so. Right? He's definitely kept his word in that regard. But again, as always, this is a discussion. I pass the question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? How do you feel about Victor? What are your thoughts? What are your opinions? Again, however you feel, whatever your thoughts are, let me know down in the comments below. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me a lot. Helps me to enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. If you're not subscribed to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.